This exercise is called Superwoman, and it's from a 4-point kneeling position. It involves spinal flexion and extension. So if there's any issues such as osteoporosis or certain back problems, you can just keep the spine in a neutral position and limit the range of movement at the leg. So core stability, scapular stability, hip flexion, hip extension. So primarily it's really a glute strengthening exercise, but of course you've got all of that shoulder, scapular and core stability involved as well. So from that 4-point kneeling position, spreading the fingers wide, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart, neutral spine. You're going to bring the knee in towards the chest. And as you bring the knee in, you're going to slightly lean back. So your butt is slightly behind the knee and you bring the forehead down. So your spine is in flexion, a bit like a cat stretch with you leaning back. Then you bring the weight back over, so my shoulders are once again above the hands, and I lift the leg up to a 90-degree angle, and if I can, I lift the knee higher than the hip, I lift the breastbone and I look up and I pull my shoulders down. So spine is going into extension and then leaning back into flexion and extension. So let me show you that from the side so that you can see the spinal position. I'm leaning back, bringing the forehead to the knee, and then as I lean forward again, I bring the knee beyond hip height, I lift the breastbone, lift the head a little, pull those shoulders down, and my spine is in extension. So if there are certain back problems, osteoporosis, where the spine needs to stay in neutral, that's fine. You just limit the range of movement. Just bring the knee in a little, and then bring the leg to there. So it's the same movement without any spinal mobility. You're just keeping that neutral position. Okay, Jasmine? For wrist issues, you can go down onto the elbows as well. And again, so that's it, nice neutral pelvis, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, really stretching the crown of the head away, sliding those shoulder blades down. Now, right knee comes in towards the chest, tuck the tailbone under and bring the forehead to the knee. So there's your spine, like a cat stretch. And then take that leg, keep the 90-degree angle, because you're not straightening the leg, it just comes straight up. And take the knee as high as possible. So although the spine is in extension, don't just dump the pelvis. Really keep that navel and ribs tight, lifting the breastbone, shoulders down, head up, and repeat again. Gently inhale and exhale. Yes, inhale and exhale. Let's just try that on the elbows. Let's try the other leg now. So we're going onto that left leg. So the hands can either be like this or they can be clasped, whatever feels more comfortable. But really thinking about the shoulder stability a little bit more on this position. And I see a lot of people dumping their ribs. So watching that rib position here, keeping that connection. So even though your spine is going into extension, don't just let the ribs flare. Keep that core connection. And inhale, head goes down. Exhale, and now keep a neutral pelvis, Jasmine. So just bring the knee to the other knee. And then gently back up. So keeping that spine absolutely still would be your other variation. And if somebody had knee and wrist issues, we can have them lying face down. So forehead on the hands in a diamond position, and feet are together. And we're just bending the knee, flexing the foot. Again, tucking that tailbone under, because when we lift the thigh and the knee off the floor, pushing the foot to the ceiling, what you don't want is to stick the bottom out and the hips come off, or the pelvis to start rotating here, okay? So really tuck that tailbone under, squeeze those glutes and push the pubic bone into the floor, shoulders slide down, navel draws up, and exhale, just lifting the leg only as high as that stable pelvis can be maintained, and then gently down. Now, obviously here you haven't got the hip flexion, you've just got the hip extension as the leg goes up, exhaling, pushing the other leg away, inhaling as that leg comes down. Exhaling, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, shoulders down, and inhale, gently release. Lovely. And one last time, pushing up onto all fours. We're just going to put the weight, again, just show you the variation with the weight behind the knee. And remember, you've got to slightly contract that joint angle just so that you don't lose the weight. And then the knee comes in, so cat stretch. Inhale, leaning back slightly, arms straight. Exhale, push up. Here, flex the foot, and it can either go to a neutral position or slightly extended, but you notice that the heel has to come towards the butt in order to keep that weight tight hold. And one more, inhale, arms straight, and exhale, and then gently release. So that just adds a little bit more challenge by adding a little bit extra weight to your Superwoman exercise.